You know, there comes a moment in life when everything you've ever known, every routine you've followed, every relationship you've built, starts to feel off, like something isn't quite right. You start to feel it deep down, that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life. It's like the world around you is changing, but not in the way you can see. It's deeper, more profound, like an energy moving through your life. A shift you can't quite put your finger on, but you know it's happening. You are not the same person you were yesterday, and you can't go back to the way things used to be. This, my friends, is the beginning of your spiritual awakening. And while it's beautiful, it can also be terrifying. It's the kind of awakening that changes everything. The way you see the world, the way you see yourself, and ultimately, the way you relate to everything around you. The world, once full of illusions and distractions, becomes clearer, more real. And it's scary because you start to see through all the bullshit. It's like waking up from a dream, and suddenly, all those illusions you've been holding onto don't seem as important anymore. The false identities, the societal expectations, all of it starts to fall away. You begin to feel a pull towards something greater, something more authentic, something that aligns with your true self. But with this awakening comes a realization: in order to grow, you have to let go. So today, we're diving into 6 things that highly spiritual souls slowly quit as they awaken to their true nature. These aren't just habits. These are deeply ingrained aspects of our lives, things we hold onto out of fear, comfort, or sheer conditioning. But releasing them isn't just necessary, it's liberating. Let's go ahead and jump in. And let's start with the first one. 1. Quitting the need for external validation in this world, where everything is about likes, comments, followers, and what other people think of us. It's easy to fall into the trap of defining your worth based on other people's opinions. But as your spiritual awakening deepens, you realize something profound. True validation doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. We live in a society that constantly tells us we need to be liked, accepted, understood, and validated by others. It's all about fitting in, checking the boxes, and conforming to expectations. But the truth is, once you start to wake up spiritually, you begin to see that the opinions of others aren't really about you. They're reflections of their own inner world. So slowly, you start to quit the need for validation. You start to find peace in knowing that your worth isn't determined by how many people approve of you. It's determined by your own self-worth, your own understanding of who you are. And when you realize this, that weight you've been carrying around your whole life begins to lift. It's freeing. You no longer need to be accepted by everyone. And you can finally be comfortable in your own skin. 2. Letting go of material attachment. Let's talk about materialism for a minute. In our society, success is measured by how much we have. Money, cars, houses, designer clothes. The list goes on. We've been conditioned to believe that if we don't have all these things, we're failing. But when you're going through your spiritual awakening, you begin to see things for what they really are. Temporary, fleeting, ultimately unfulfilling. Sure, we all need things to live, but we don't need them to define us. Spiritual awakening shows you that true abundance is not measured by the stuff you have, it's measured by who you are. It's about the richness of your inner world, the depth of your relationships, the love and joy you cultivate within yourself. So you begin to detach from the need to constantly acquire more. You start to declutter your life, both physically and mentally. You simplify. You focus on what really matters. This doesn't mean you renounce all material possessions. It means you stop letting them define you. You start to find joy in experiences, in being, in doing, rather than having. And that's when you create space for what truly nourishes your soul. 3. Releasing the need for control. Now, let's talk about control. This is a big one. We've all been taught that in order to be successful, we need to control every aspect of our lives. We need to control the outcomes. We need to control what happens next. But here's the truth. Control is an illusion. The more you try to control things, the more you resist the natural flow of life. As you awaken spiritually, you realize that everything is unfolding as it's meant to. The universe has a plan, even if you don't understand it yet. The more you let go of control, the more peace you find. It doesn't mean you give up or become passive. It means you trust the process. You trust the timing of the universe. You set your intentions, take inspired action, and then release your attachment to the outcome. You trust that whatever happens is exactly what you need for your growth. It's a hard lesson to learn, but once you do, you start to feel this deep sense of calm, knowing that life will unfold just as it should, whether you try to control it or not. 4. Abandoning toxic relationships. As you go deeper into your spiritual awakening, you start to look at your relationships differently. The people you've surrounded yourself with, are they lifting you up, or are they draining your energy? Are they holding you back, keeping you stuck in old patterns? Toxic relationships are those connections that no longer serve your highest good. Maybe you've kept them out of obligation, fear, or comfort, but as you grow spiritually, you realize that holding onto these relationships only holds you back. So you begin to distance yourself from the negativity. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when it involves people you care about. But the truth is, you can't keep pouring from an empty cup. You can't keep surrounding yourself with people who bring you down, who don't align with your values. It's time to let go. And as you do, you start attracting relationships that nurture your growth. You attract people who support you, who inspire you, who challenge you to be the best version of yourself. 5. Ceasing to compromise your authentic self. For most of our lives, we've been told to conform. We've been told to play roles, to wear masks, to be someone we're not so that we can fit in. We've been told that if we want to be liked, we have to fit into certain molds. But as you go through your spiritual awakening, you start to realize that compromising who you truly are comes at a great cost. It costs you your authenticity, your joy, and your inner peace. So, you slowly start to quit the habit of compromising yourself. You start embracing who you really are, quirks and all. No more pretending. No more hiding parts of yourself. You become unapologetic in your truth. And when you do, something magical happens. You attract people and opportunities that resonate with your authentic self. You create a life that feels deeply aligned with who you are. You no longer feel the need to hide who you are, because you realize that the only approval you need is your own. 6. Quitting the fear of death. Now, let's talk about death. Yeah, I know it's a heavy topic, but it's one of the most profound shifts that happens during your spiritual awakening. You stop seeing death as an end. Instead, you see it as a transition, a natural part of the cycle of life. You realize that your true essence is eternal. Your soul transcends the physical body, and death is simply a doorway to another dimension of existence. This realization brings a sense of peace. You no longer live in fear of the unknown. You begin to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating the beauty and impermanence of life. And as you let go of the fear of death, you free yourself from the limitations that fear has placed on you. You start to experience life in its fullest expression. You no longer hold back. You live fully, knowing that your journey is ongoing, beyond this physical body. So, there you have it. The 6 things that highly spiritual souls slowly quit. They go through. These are habits, beliefs, and attachments that have been deeply ingrained in us for years. But as we awaken to our true nature, we begin to let go of them. It's a process. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion. But as you let go of these old patterns, you make space for something greater, your true self, your true purpose. Remember, this journey is yours alone. There's no right or wrong way to navigate it. Trust in your own process, honor your own pace, and know that you are exactly where you need to be.